Charles, we have got one of the government's finest achievements here behind us.
Right.
They've repurposed former commercial space into, what is this even?
It's a COVID, I think ADA could mean Americans with Disabilities Act. Let's see.
Dental Association?
New York City $100 vaccine incentive. So you take it, you got a $100 gift card or something. Yeah. I mean, but this is an example of what happens when you let the government administer your money. First, the site is, I mean, it's just, you look at this room and you don't want to go in it, right? It's just, it's not pleasing at all. They got the Dilbert thing going with all this, you know, the cubicles.
Right.
They got these, is that guy drinking a beer? Please tell me he's not drinking a beer.
It's like an energy drink or something,
okay.
but he
Lack of
joined
energy
the
drink.
NYPD. He's just sitting there texting instead of actually doing anything.
But with this kind of operation, if it's let's go through there.
Sure.
If it's subcontracted, we don't know how much the actual contract is for. We don't know how many employees they're saying are working there. We don't know how many people they say they vaccinated. We don't know anything.
Right.
But we do know that it's an example of a loathsome-looking setup brought to you with taxpayer expense, where they're handing out $100 to people who are dumb enough at this stage.
Probably it's a Weed World gift certificate, Charles.
Yeah. Who just somebody just called us an asshole? Sorry.
Probably nothing new.
Yeah. So here we have, this is a wheelchair accessible path to nowhere. What is this?
This is Lobster and Burger.
I know, but
Burger
what's
and
this?
Lobster.
Is this art?
Maybe it's a skate park.
And look at this. I mean, this, you would think that the owners of these two properties would say, well, we've got a special easement. Let's make this interesting. Instead, it's dirty, and I bet you at night, it's probably filled with homeless people.
Well, I've been here previously, and there was some burger and lobster activity going on.
Doesn't
in
look
this
very
outer area.
Doesn't look very appetizing. But you can, of course, pretend you're going to the chop house across the street. That doesn't look.
Oh, look, they've tucked the national debt clock in here. I didn't know that.
It's not even right.
Your share is up to $215,000.
Yeah, they should put that all on the politicians to say, after you pay this debt down, then you get a pension.
Heartland Brewery has been out of business for some time.
Yeah, this in the day, this has always been somewhat seedy, Broadway, but in the day this was bustling. On a Sunday you had Sunday matinees, you had people would come in from the boroughs and the suburbs, bring their families in, they'd go to a nice lunch or a nice dinner afterwards, or maybe both, see a play, which is now prohibitively expensive. You know, for a family of four, that routine with good seats and a nice restaurant is probably $2,000.
Ah.
You know, between parking's probably $100.
Wow.
You know, around here.
Who would want to do that?
I know.
I mean, frankly, if you paid me $1,000, I'd need to give it some thought to go to a Broadway show.
Yeah, I just musicals are all the same. They all sound exactly
I don't like them.
yada 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 yada. Dun, 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 dun. You know, it's just like I don't need to pay $1,000.
You should write one, Charles.
I just did. So this is this is NASDAQ.
I thought this is ABC. Oh yeah, no, that's up there.
I used to do a lot of interviews from here, and not on the floor itself. Of course, NASDAQ is now all automated. There are no traders or anything.
I thought that was its whole thing from the beginning, that it was
electronic trading. I don't know if NASDAQ initially was all. I don't know that initially it was, but it moved to that. And of course, you go in there, and what you don't see, and you can't see it from the sidewalk here, is they have these really small cubicles, you know, good enough for one person. And you'll sit in that, and next to you will be, perhaps as many times when I did it, was the guy who now does CNBC Squawk Box. You know, he was right next to me. I could hear him talking to his wife about errands and this and that. And you would look around, and there would be like 25 people in their respective boxes all yakking away. And,
about not work?
No, you know, most of them would be on air, different shots. I would do that primarily to go on Canadian television, but I also did it for Chinese television.
Huh.
Yeah, this is certainly more lively than 2 years ago when we walked around, right? I mean, I think we began our walk-arounds March 20th or something?
Something like that.
March 27th, maybe? When you look at this, and the only part of this that I find attractive is the closest car that can take me the fuck out of here. I mean, this is... No part of this part of the city is attractive to me.
It's colder today than I expected.
I take that, but one place I do...
That's where all the drawings are on the wall?
It's kind of like a theater district Monty's. You know, it had this... My parents had me go there when he or she was in a play and go there after dinner with them, after the show with them. So.
Oh, Charles, CNN has a streaming thing coming out. CNN Plus.
Plus what?
I don't
know. That's the whole in the world could do, you know, a picture of a whole bunch of people pissing into a urinal. That's CNN streaming. Right?
Now, did you happen to see the Donald Trump speech, you know, the rally in South Carolina?
Daughter and her boy. But,
I watched it on Rumble this morning.
Was it good?
I mean, you know, I think Trump is straying further away from logical. I think saying anything that is going to get canceled. We're probably days away from them, you know, preventing you from using the word Russia without getting canceled. I think hopefully that up.
It's all right. But you were good.
Yeah, I was trying to bring up this Paul Sperry article and I accidentally didn't work with the Democrats and it backfired. Correct. As I understand it, there was a referendum in Crowdsource.
I don't know what happened afterward.
How do we know which is the correct version? There's no.
Well, what happened is that first there were a bunch of Blackwater, a special military operation. There's the referendum. I may have that wrong. The referendum
Buffering. Connection is poor. Have I acknowledged the buffering yet? It shouldn't be. Why? It's yeah.
Wow. Should we get back out of the
buffering? Bongino turned somehow. People are saying.
Turn.
Why? I don't understand why this isn't working. It should be.
Could be we're just in a dead zone in the center of the park. Let's let these people go by.
Okay. No, I don't think. Why
Nice.
is it not?
It's a pity because it's
Happening on maybe on Odyssey.
pretty
So he is.
in the Clinton Foundation.
Oh, what's going on with our broadcast here? Let's.
You know, taking not a chain store.
What was this before?
I don't know, but it shouldn't be a chain store in the park. Where they had.
Yeah, the Great Lawn.
Is that what this is? Yeah. It's not that big. Sheep Meadow, thank you, yeah.
I saw Paul Simon there years ago.
Really?
Yes.
It's nice to have the door to the men's room open so you can hear the people drying their hands on those hand dryers. That's really a nice touch.
All right, so I don't know. There's some technical advice as to how to solve it.
Peanuts get shelled?
Well, it's just shut up is the policy.
That's pretty nice, the Sheep Meadow. At night in here?
I think it's just to deter